Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy second recording on this Wednesday. Want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well this season. Got to work for you. Happy Wednesday, happy second recording, guys. So, I want to piggyback off of an email that I was replying to on last night, and that is how to discern, ways to understand the generic, the counterfeit, in comparison to the real thing. So, and of course, this can go in different directions, getting where you fit in, plug in your thing, whatever that thing or person may be. But here's the thing, without a doubt, your spirit just knows it, right? That's first and foremost. Your spirit just knows it. You can't describe what your spirit feels in words, because it's just a knowing. Now, so I'm talking about spiritual prompting, not soul ties and it's all toxic and demonic and tied up in unhealthy things. No, I'm talking about there's a pureness that was downloaded in your spirit when you heard it, when you saw it, when you touched it, right? All right, so what I've grown to realize is sometimes God will show you things and release it instantly, and there's times where He would just give you a glimpse of it and then separate it, right? For different reasons. I think some of us, sorry guys about these keys, I think some of us have short attention spans. Especially men, right? I think some of us have short attention spans, so it's almost like let me show you this thing so you don't start drifting off, too quick and too far on to something else that it's not designed for you. That's not my will for you. So I'm going to show it to you, so it's going to keep you motivated. So when I show it to you and when I allow you to see it or feel that prompting in the spirit, it's going to be so profound that it's never going to leave you until it manifests. It's never going to leave you. So when you start to stray, when you start get tired and weary and all this stuff, waiting and all this stuff like that feeling, nothing else will be able to ever measure up to what you feel in your spirit. So that's how I'm going to keep you grounded and locked in here, even if you have to wait 15 years for that thing to be manifested. But of course, in the process of all this, again, sometimes God have to work on certain people and certain things in certain places. So He may have shown it to you for that reason, to keep you committed to that nudge, but also, just to show you what He has for you, but to also let you know too that I still have work to do. I'm just showing it to you, so when I start processing you for the promise, when things get so tough, again, it's going to be that feeling of just knowing that it's going to always bring you back. So when you're so tired, like this young lady who messaged me last night, where she's to the point of she's ready to walk away and give up. I think she said she's been waiting now for like close to 2 years, and she's tired. Her email tickled me, but she's just tired. But it's like she can't walk away even if she wants to, because when she tries to walk away, she gets convicted. When she tries to walk away, nothing else measure up. Sweetheart, nothing else is going to ever measure up. Once God shows you what He has for you, it's so frustrating, because you can try on your own accord to make something else measure up. You can try to dress it up. You can try to put it in the bathtub and throw some bleach on it to clean it up. Honey, it's not going to measure up. So you might as well sit. You might as well sit. Let Him process you. Let Him do what He has to do through you, to prepare you for the promise. Because again, sometimes we think we're ready and we're not ready. For example, you're almost 2 years in and you're ready to walk. Do you know there's some people 10, 15 years in? So the whole point is He's watching you. So if you're ready to walk just as quick because your flesh is tired and you're tired and you're not even quite 2 years in, He's looking at you like, I don't even know if you're really, really ready, right? Because you're going to come up against some trials. You're going to come up against some storms in due season that I need to strengthen your flesh.
You can't be walking so quick. You can't be walking just because you're triggered about certain things. You can't be walking just because you think somebody's you think someone is doing something because he haven't healed you of old wounds, etc., etc. So let me process you, and then I'm processing the other side. I'm getting the other side prepared as well, because you're not my only child that I have to that I got to really process and work on, right? There's people on the other side. So they could also be the hold up, even though you may, all caps, may be ready. So again, other than just that prompting, just that feeling in your spirit that nobody can tell you different, even when you try to walk away from that thing, again, you try to go on because of whatever reason, you think something else is better. You think God may want you to move there. You think this, you think that. And truth of the matter is, many times you're just thinking that way because your flesh is just tired, and you can't see how things are adding up in the physical realm when things are actually adding up in the spiritual realm. So you feel like nothing is being prepared. You feel like you can't see how the thing will manifest, but it's all being done in the spiritual realm. So you don't have to see it in the physical. You're not going to see it in the physical many times. God may show you certain things to confirm in the physical, just to keep you motivated and just to help settle your nerves down, because he knows you're struggling here, right? And he don't want you to be in distress. So he will come back and show you something in confirmation. And it's like, oh, wow, okay. So I am on the right path. I am on the right path. He just needs me to wait longer for whatever reason. So let's just say you just get to the point where, I mean, listen, we're human, right? You hit those times where you're ready to give up. You feel like it's not worth it, all these different things. Okay, you're human. So let's just say a time comes and you decide to, well, I'm going to just go move this place, even though God says that place. Or I'm going to just try to go and date this person, even though God says that person. Or I'm just going to try to start this business, even though God says he wants me to do it this way and I don't want to. When you're going to try it, ain't going to work. Ain't going to work, right? I mean, you might get your little feathers ruffled for a day or two, or even a week or a month. God's going to shut it down. God's going to shut it down, because ultimately we can try what we want to try. God's plan will prevail. So go do your thing, right? Go do whatever you do, boo. But God's going to bring it right back to you. And that's another way how you know that it's not a generic. It doesn't leave you. It doesn't leave you. You try to flush it. You try to throw it over the rail. It doesn't leave you. It just keeps coming back. There's a gnawing of the spirit. Again, I'm not speaking about a fleshly gnawing where you feel like it's a soul tie and it's all toxic and demonic. You can't leave this person alone. You love them. You're obsessed with them because it's a soul tie. No, I'm not speaking there. I'm speaking about a spiritual connection. And sometimes too, how you know it's the real thing is because you didn't go looking for this thing. It came to you. This is most times it's not even something that you would have picked for yourself or thought about, right? It came to you. It came to you in the spiritual realm. And it's like, well, I mean, yeah, it sure does look amazing, but I never was checking for it like that. But all of a sudden, God changes your desires now to check for that thing the way you would have checked for it in the fleshly sense. So again, this is why I say too, when people say, well, God give you desires of your heart. Yes, he does. My God, he does. But honey, them desires going to be changed first. He's going to change your desires first. And now that you're in proper alignment, yes, he will give you the desires of your heart. But it doesn't mean that you're always ready for it. One of the biggest ways to, because I spoke more about knowing the real thing. One of the biggest indication that it's not the real thing and that it is a generic, your spirit isn't at rest. Your spirit isn't at rest. Like, you can be there, you can be around that person, you can be in that place, you can be in that thing. Your spirit is not at rest. And it's not that your spirit is like feeling all frightening and it's like, oh, it's in danger mode. No, it's just, it doesn't feel like home. Right? Where with the real thing or the real person, it feels like home. It feels safe. There's zero question marks. Where you could be sitting with someone, or you could be at a place, and you know you're overcompensating for something. It's almost like this ain't it, but I'm gonna just make it. Or maybe maybe if I just dress it up a little bit more, maybe if I just tweak it, maybe if I no. You're only doing that because sorry guys. Hey, good morning. Okay, all right, I'm coming right in. You're only doing that because you're tired of waiting. You're only doing that because you're having some doubts. You're only doing that because you can't see things measuring up in the physical realm. And now you feel like if you don't do something, your time is running out, and this and that. So now you want to take the counterfeit and try to mold it into the real thing, and it's not going to work. It's not going to work. You're going to be frustrated. You're going to be miserable because you know that's not the real thing. You're trying to make it the real thing. But with that real thing, your spirit is so settled because it's meant. Your spirit is so settled when this person or this thing is in your presence, or you're in that place. It could be a new home that you have. Maybe you could be house shopping, right? And when you walk in that door, you know it's home. Not trying to say, well, I mean, it feels like home, but my spirit is still kind of confused. And maybe if I just put some plants in it, it'll feel a little more like home. No, honey. No. When it's the real thing, when you walk in there, boom, you know it. When it's the real thing, when it comes in your presence, boom, you know it. You just know. And no one else can tell you different. You got to stay locked in. So again, sis, I get it. I know you're tired. I know you're frustrated. I know it's confusing. Right? But you got to stop trying to make sense of it in the physical realm, and you got to allow God to guide you in the spiritual realm. Regardless of what you see in the flesh, you might see that thing or that person with generics themselves. You can't even worry about that. You can't even worry about that. So don't even worry about trying to fight for something in the fleshly realm, right? God is moving, maneuvering, shaking, and strategically shifting things around in the spiritual realm. But you're going to have to be patient in the process. You really need to be more tapped into your purpose right now, right? Because you get to the point where you're like, I don't even feel like purpose. No, honey, you need to be doing purpose. There's things for you to be doing right now, right? You can be serving other people. You can be trying to get your own stuff off the ground again. Many times God be telling us to prepare, and we think we're prepared. And when you go back to God and you ask God, have I really done everything that you asked me to do? He'll tell you, listen, go back at the very beginning when I first gave you that download. What did I tell you to do then? Because half of that stuff you ain't even did yet. Half of that stuff you ain't even did yet, right? Because you were motivated at the beginning, so you start moving and getting things done. And then all of a sudden you kind of hit this plateau, and it's almost like, well, I'm just, and then some of that stuff you just kind of put to the side. So pick that stuff back up. Start working on that stuff again. And just trust and believe that God is fighting for you in the spiritual realm. Keep your hands free. And just do whatever He requires you to do. And listen, at the end of the day, again, your spirit is going to tell you. There's no doubt. No doubt about it. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.